the damage that much, especially with AoE in the area, because it's just going to kill the illusions right away, and that doesn't really amplify your damage a whole lot. So maybe the negative build.
I wonder if they've got kill potentially. They're keeping eyes on Kezu and slowly moving OP closer. Depends how safe Kezu plays, and he's going to back up. Doesn't know that Baboka's there, but realizes there's very high potential. Bottom lane, Dream Coil will be dropped. They'll look for the quick pick onto Puppey, and they will get it, making sure that Burning gets himself involved in some action in the kills. And the build as well from Burning, looking to be the Midas into the straight Hood of Defiance.
So I think the only person that doesn't have Midas here is going to be the Medusa. Phoenix has his recipe ready. He's like 70 gold away. That's a pretty standard Phoenix item in the past.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to have to remake my Midas video and just be like, every hero buys this, guys.
Apparently so. But we saw teams yesterday buying Mass Midas and still losing, so
that's true.
It might not win you the game.
And it definitely cost IG heavily in the first game as well, but that may have been more strategy than actually item build. But I mean, either way, I think Secret's still in a pretty good place. They just have to get their relic up. As long as it's not Spectre getting ganked, I don't think Secret is too unhappy about this. Like Puppey dying down there with against like a Dream Coil, that's okay. They'll live through that one. But they just don't have the best defensive supports. It's one of the negatives about their draft. They can't really save a Sniper if he's out of position and gets gone on by their opponents. They can't save Spectre in that case. So what they need to do is just ideally have better movement around the map and not get caught out of position kind of a thing. Because if the ganks start, you're probably dead anyway. So let the ganks go towards your weaker supports that don't give as much gold. And in the meantime, your carries can continue farming efficiently.
And or Hood, obviously I'm Burning, and actually Kezu himself as well from the mech going straight for the Pipe of Insight. So really gearing up for these team fight items to help Secret out against IG.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I guess Venge just needs survivability really. Like you can build right-click items, but I think survivability is a bit better because she can't escape herself that well when she gets engaged on. So it'll stop Radiance damage, it'll stop Shrapnel damage, it'll stop Crystal Maiden combos. And like Enigma, you love these items like Mech, Pipe. This is different than what most Enigmas have been building, but I think without the Naga, you can't be as greedy and just go for that. I'm going to for sure black hole people. It's just safer for him to buy items that help his team win a fight. I really favor these ones usually anyways.
Still the master of the farm, even though, as you mentioned, without the Midas. OP is there at the top though. And very close down the Manta. It's actually going to be with a Horn that they find a pick onto XXS, joining Pi and Mid1, who managed to catch him out with the Frostbite. Bringing the puck down, and of course that kill involvement pushing MP very close to having the relic. Sitting on 3.6k gold at the moment. He should find it without any difficulties. The rest of his team could be in trouble. Mid1 will be initiated on by Baboka with the Overgrowth. Pi tries for the TP out. Looks like he will make it, but IG, they don't care. They find the bigger kill. They take down the Sniper.
I'm surprised. That's a core kill, and you only got 263 gold. That kind of shows what the net worth is like, most likely. Not looking the best.
Yeah, that does sound very low for
IG. There were 4 heroes, though, so that's part of it. It splits up a little bit, but I don't know. It was a good kill, for sure. Guess getting the puck first definitely helps, but very wise for Pi just to ditch. Like, they can't save anybody that gets caught, especially if the Venge shows up. Burning is almost unstoppable as a core right now at this point in the game. And he will go for a Hurricane Pike, actually, so kind of back towards the more typical build. I just like the Hood a lot on Venge because you don't really want to get a BKB on the hero because, yeah, it gives you 10 seconds, but it's not like you need to win the fight in that 10 seconds. Venge is more like a elongated core in that she fights for longer in the battle, and it won't necessarily be I pop BKB and initiate. If you swap somebody out of position, maybe you're not as out of position as you needed to be. It fits the hero a lot better. It's a lot cheaper as well, so I like that build a lot. I don't know if he'll commit to the pipe. Probably not, but maybe later.
Gold from my chest.
So for now, IG just has to continue pressuring. They should still try to get kills if they can, obviously, while continuing to farm their cores, which is basically Medusa. Give her a couple more items. She's going to go the next boring item in the line, which is Scotty. Just more and more efficient items. Because he's going to do the same thing. Farm the triple camp near his secret shop. Farm the enemy jungle just a little bit, but not too far because he doesn't want to feed. And continue leveling up.
I mean, with this kind of build, you know, regarding the stats on OP and, as you mentioned, the Hood and search on Burning, is there going to be a lack of damage, do you feel, on IG's lineup in these fights? Because you've got the pipe and the mech to help offset some from Kezu? Or is it still enough?
There's definitely some threat to that, I would agree. But I think Phoenix helps back it up, as does the Veil. that he's going to build. It'll help accelerate puck, so I think it could work fine. But there definitely will be some damage problems. I think they're just not going to have that issue until like 20 minutes from now.
Okay.
Like once Spectre starts getting into survivability items past the Radiance. Like second survivability item kind of range.
Yeah, and that Radiance, just a matter of about 500 gold away from completion on MP. So the next team fight bordering on that kind of next level of difficulty for IG. They do fight once he's got it. Mid lane, the catch will be there on Q. I'll get the follow through to Bo, but it's not quite enough burst as Q will be able to get himself back to safety. Top lane, burning, Baboka and OP moving in onto another tower, and they will claim it. So more money and control into the bank of IG. And this is something as well, really. We're 21 minutes in, and Secret themselves, they've only managed to take, what, one of the tier 1s of IG.
Yeah. That's because it's not safe for them to group as 5 and push, because they know that IG has pretty good teamfight advantages. It looks so good for Secret in the draft, but grabbing the Dusa and the Tree and the Phoenix, it's like the team fights are tough. And if Secret didn't lose the tempo from their early advantage around that tier 2, then everything would have probably been fine for Secret. They would have gotten faster to the Radiance, things would have been safer, but they had to play this defensive turtle kind of thing where they don't play aggressive because they lost some of that advantage that they got earlier.
Secret certainly thinking about taking a fight here. There's going to be the jump in from XXS. Dreamcall onto 2 with the Horn. In response, they're ready to come in with this Radiant Spectre. The Stone Gaze comes through. The Supernova in the midst of it all as well. On top of the Overgrowth, it's going to be a massive Supernova stun. Getting them.
Oh, they denied it.
Oh my, they got that deny literally that last second, bringing it down in time, and that is going to make sure that Secret can secure this team fight. They find 3. They're looking for Baboka in the tree line. They won't quite get him. He will get out. But yeah, killing that Supernova, they were a millisecond away from being 5-man stunned up. And
it guaranteed that Enigma lived, because I thought for sure that Supernova was going to blow, stun him. The Venge gets the Enigma kill. Maybe he gets a second kill afterwards with Phoenix getting his cooldowns back up again. That absolutely changed the fight. That was huge. And now Guardian Greaves picked up on Enigma, so now he can remove Disable. Actually, the thing I liked the best about that team fight was Kezu turning into the Dusa ulti because he knew that it would stop the magic damage. And actually, Burning also stunned on it during the Stone Gaze. So he actually didn't take that much magic damage during the combo. It was a lot of right clicks. And now the pressure comes. They've got Radiance.
Yeah, IG's just giving away another freebie here. Pi, mid one, and MP getting another kill. I mean, this is exactly as MP would have hoped a Spectre game to go, really, wasn't it? He had this lane where he was getting kills, gets a good timing on the Radiance. First fight where he turns up with it, bam, he's involved in 3, then a further pickoff.
Yeah, it was definitely a little slow by all means, but Secret had to play like that due to the fact that IG was effective at team fighting as well. But now they're just going to accelerate past their opponents, I think. I mean, they've got Midases. It's going to help them remain competitive, but I feel like Secret can just play around their Black Hole cooldowns, stuff like that. They've got the cooldown reduction now, and they didn't even use it in the last fight. They're still ready to go pretty much. Not to mention Enigma's as tanky as he's going to need to be, more or less, with Greaves and Pipe. So I think Secret's sitting real happy right now.
And I kind of like this pickup as well from mid one. I feel we didn't really see the effectiveness of it in that last fight, but having the Blink Dagger on this sniper, this is really, if he's just on the back lines and then the Supernova comes through, he could just blink into a good position to make sure that he can help take that down from long range. Yeah. And ensure that Secret have a very strong chance of taking team fights. The
better benefit, I think, is more around the Vengeful Spirit. I think he's doing this because of the swap.
Okay.
So, if, for example, if Bernie makes a mistake, does swap without casting a Wave of Terror first, no damage taken, he can blink back to safety. If he does stuff like that, it absolutely saves the team fight. Or he can just, like you said, hide in trees, wait till the team fight starts, then blink somewhere where he needs to be. Force the swap to go on somebody else instead. Downside is he's going to have to be the one hit the tower later. So it's going to be maybe obvious where he's sitting, but the Blink Dagger really helps make up for some of that lost mobility. Does look like he's building very defensive this game, though. Yasha up next into a Manta. Manta's honestly pretty crap sniper item. His illusions do not do much damage. You usually buy stuff like, I don't know, you can get like Monkey King Bar some games. Maelstrom doesn't really do much for your illusions. Gives them attack speed, I guess, but not much damage. So
is it him gearing up for a Manta Diffusal build for the Medusa?
It's for Overgrowth most likely. So as soon as he gets disabled by Overgrowth, BKB or not, he can remove that.
So do you think Diffusal's unlikely or
on Sniper
for the Sniper?
It's actually definitely a real good possibility. I was thinking about it during the draft, but I kind of walked away from it and thought later. But considering there's a trend, I think it's really possible here. Yeah. The mana drain you get individually is amazing. It's like 50. I think your illusions only get half of that, though, so maybe it's 8 actually for range. It's pretty crap. So 16 melee, 8 range. So it's not a way to go if you're trying to drain Medusa's mana with your illusions, but for his hero, he could potentially
So
grab it.
as you said, it's more for keeping himself alive and being very slippery in these fights.
The Manta, yeah. So I don't think he goes Diffusal. I'd prefer he just goes like MKB or something like that. Almost catching the puck here on the bot lane. Yeah, they just want for it. They know they can get this kill, otherwise
Does still have the Yules, yeah, he is still quite hard to keep a hold of, and with that, IG are actually bringing in forces to potentially turn. XXS jumps back through, the Torrent will hold back the Venge. Pi in the tree line, gets off the freezing field, the boat flies through, giving the Puppey the buff. They can't kill Puppey, Burning's down, the Supernova doesn't end up connecting on any secret. Pilot die with the Frostbite into the Torrent on XXS, they found the puck as well. OP turns up with the Stone Gates, forcing MP to back, but bam, mid-1, snipes down the big old bird from the sidelines. A third kill for them, and Baboka thinks about the overgrowth, but he realizes he's just going to get himself the hell out of there. The Medusa's out of mana, MP and Pilot Eye finish him off, Baboka falls on the sidelines, and Secret team wipe IG.
It looks so bad for Secret, but Kezu got there at the perfect time. A lot of great skill usage from the rest of Secret as well. Channeling the freezing field on the back line, frostbiting the puck right when he's trying to escape, and MP making perfect decision as well. He saw that fight was going to swing. He went back in, he guaranteed the burning kill, and all of a sudden that mech pipe hit from Enigma, and the fight was just over for IG. They burned all of their big cooldowns, and they did not secure any kills in the meantime. I think that was actually Kunko boat as well.
It was, yeah. Just as Puppey was about to die, he got the boat out over him.
And that delayed the damage, and the heals came later, and all of a sudden a 5-0, and they get a tier 2. That's hugely beneficial.
Very, very impressive. And we're seeing this CM Kunkka is something that you know, Secret, we know that they love in the past. They're just so good with it. The Frostbite Torrent's coming in multiple times in the team fights, and making it very hard for these heroes that like Puck that otherwise feel pretty safe in situations, jumping around the enemy.
Yeah, I mean, the Yules obviously helps, but it only solves so many problems. Very tough game for IG now. Secret continues to get farther and farther ahead in terms of items. Kezu, interestingly, going to go Bloodstone afterwards. I would have thought he had enough mana with Guardian Greaves and the Puck, or sorry, the Crystal Maiden Aura, but
I mean, I guess it's just the real team plays, isn't it? Heal the team, kill yourself, heal the team.
Yeah, I think he just wants the lower cooldown, and also the fact that it's going to give him really good raw HP. His resistance is really high right now between mech and pipe, so I think it's a mix of that. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking about it. But it's a little interesting. I would have thought maybe Octarine would just be your... I mean, he's queued up Bloodstone. This could also just become an Octarine.
It could, yeah, for sure. He might have just done it to get the booster in. On top lane, Baboka has the overgrowth, but the buff's coming through again. The boat flies in. You are not killing the Secret very quickly. IG just have to Stone Gaze on OP, start to try and back, but the X marks there onto OP. They'll bring him back into the Torrent. Q comes forward, does get the Supernova off. Nice 3-man silence from XXS as they're forced back. MP left alone on the front lines, and they get the kill. They bring the Spectre down. Now they're going to potentially look for more. The blink out's just in time from mid-1. So Secret will save the rest, but that's a big kill to punish Secret with bringing down MP. As, again, it's this Phoenix. He got the Supernova off. XXS just jumping forward as well with the silence, making sure there's no way to fight around it. Q, though, may have made the mistake of sticking around for too long, expecting Secret to have backed off with their Spectre dead, but they stay strong with the heals and the sustain. Burning's also there. I mean, IG, can they actually bite back into this? They don't really have quite enough catch to do so. But a nice little double back, at least, from Secret to pick something off. But at the end of the day, their Spectre's dead. A little surprised to even see the Spectre go down. I felt like Burning just sent back, waiting to swap out the Deuce if needed. But Deuce wasn't taking that much damage. And he's, screw it, I'll just go in there and do some damage to the Spec. And Spec's at that crucial mark, too, where he spent all of his gold on, like, Radiance and Iyasha. So his HP is mediocre, and his armor is pretty low for an Agi hero. So lowers his armor and right-clicks him until he dies. Yeah, and one of the things that could have maybe changed that, he's got the ultimate orb on the courier. He was very close to having a Manta style. So if the Spec had the Manta in that situation, may have managed to get himself out of it. Yeah, absolutely. Might have made a really big difference. Or maybe he just would have killed the Medusa a lot faster or something like that. Although when Spec does finish Diffusal Blade afterwards, which is definitely the item you go for this game, Medusa's got to be a lot more careful, because that felt like such a fight win for Secret to me. Like, they killed the Treant on the back line, the Medusa ulti was wasted, they were pressuring, moving forward, but they just didn't hard commit. I think it's still a bit of Secret worrying about the Black Hole getting interrupted, because Kezu's been holding that skill very heavily this game. We haven't seen too many Black Holes, but the reason is because he does not want it just to get swapped instantly. Because when that happens, Secret's not going to be the same fighting capacity for the next 2 minutes, and Secret does not want to lose that opportunity. They will pick up the gem now on Pi, And Pi's just purchased it, so we'll start to get that superior map control up.
Puck also holding one, so...
yes, so they both got one out now.
It's gem battle time, basically.
And so this is where those deaths can be incredibly costly, losing the gem at this point. So eyes on XXS, and we'll see who is given the gem. In fact, on Secret will be Puppey. Puppey will hold it after Pi's purchase.
And they're actually going to smoke up on IG here, want to take a fight. They're feeling the Roche coming sometime soon, so they can be the first to initiate.
I mean, yeah, it's not necessarily easy because, yeah, they've got all their ults available, but at the same time, so Secret. Haunt is back up, as well as the Black Hole. And the Black Hole, to be fair, something that we haven't really seen. I mean, Kezu just showing us really the threat of the Enigma without the need to actually cast that spell in these team fights.
Exactly.
Still so much that he can do.
It's a huge threat, especially if they get a good team fight. As he transitions, I'm still not super sold on the Bloodstone. We'll see how it works out, but... I mean, if sometimes you need to do more than just mech and pipe your team, right? With that said, though,
yeah,
I think it's more important you cast Black Hole. Not to mention, if you die ever on Enigma, your Midas is probably going to be on cooldown since you can reduce it so much. Can they initiate on Dusa here? It's not the hero they want to start the fight on, and it definitely looks like a bait.
I mean, how do they close the gap? That's I guess X mark is the best way, but still that buys time for reaction really from IG. It's without any sort of blink on Kezu, even having a blink on Puppey would be nice, or Pi, which is just isn't there at the moment. It's not that easy for them to get the clean initiation unless they're just going in with a full 5-man push. I mean, their best initiation pretty much is what MP haunting in onto someone on the front lines. Yeah,
that's kind of true, actually. And it is kind of weird not to see them go for that mobility on these heroes that easily can. Like Kunkka, sometimes the blink is fantastic. That would maybe be be the easiest way to do it. Normally, you wouldn't always prioritize Kunkka. Going a build like this, heavy stats, heavy utility, team fight stuff is good. But I definitely agree. This is a game. If Kezu really didn't want to buy a blink until super late, I think it's pretty fair to justify Puppey.
I mean, a bit of that Bloodstone gold for a blink, it feels like it could be
it feels worth it, yeah.
And talking about interesting builds, Pi, he's going for the Orchid on the CM.
Do you know what this is for? It's probably against the Phoenix and the Puck as well, really. You use Frostbite, he uses Yules, just Orchid him afterwards, then he's countered. Then you basically have 2 silences in some ways. That's kind of a cool build. I think it could really work out. Nobody's going to expect this, right? When you see Orchid Crystal Maiden.
Again, they look for XXS, but Puppey, he does have that X as the catch, but he couldn't quite get it off. The Puck was instantly out of there.
Yeah. He should have gone for Torrent first instead of trying to X. But it's difficult to know sometimes.
Yeah.
Just killed the camp too fast or something. So anything new for Dusa? Yeah, just going Butterfly. Maybe another way that Orchid could be useful on CM. Although Bloodthorn,
build into that Bloodthorn.
He's got the plus 60 damage perk, dude. And now he's going to have a Midas and an Orchid. He's going to be just throwing out little snowballs.
Bloodthorn CM. Let's do it.
It's actually okay. The only reason
I like it
eventually, is just IG's heroes are not very good at killing supports. It's not like Slark, you know. You don't feel like you need. He actually doesn't really need a survivability item in this game, surprisingly, because Venge is going to save swap for either putting Sniper way out of position or swapping the Enigma, right? So it's like Venge isn't just going to punish the CM repeatedly like you see. This is like actually the CM dream game where you're like, I can do whatever I want and I don't have to worry about being chased and punished all game. It's pretty cool.
Well, 18-9. Ever since kind of that last bit of a play top, it started to slow back down. And obviously we do have, as the panel mentioned, they said this could be a game that becomes this battle of titans, the Medusa versus the Spectre. And at the moment, in terms of farm, OP, certainly with the lead, you know, he is a clear 4,000 or such a net worth ahead of MP.
He's doing a great job farming. He's got so much evasion right now. He's even got the 15% evasion perk. So hitting this guy is going to be real tough here. Mjolnir up next for Sniper, so he's not that close to a potential MKB. That would be his next item that he starts, but I mean, Enigma's really good against Duso, I'd say. Sure, her HP is really high, so the Midnight Pulse is pumping out a lot of damage. That could be useful. But they are definitely going to have some troubles killing Medusa right now. They have a bad window. They almost done with Diffusal on Spectre. That will help, but again, same problem. Can't hit the guy. Can't drain the mana if you can't hit him.
Oh, but Boka's coming round, but they do see him. They've got the vision. They'll just throw everything at him. Take the freebie, maybe move in for more. OP is coming across. They'll clear out the illusions, start to back up and kind of readjust themselves. IG preparing if Secret want to fight for more. Puppey and MP heading onto the high ground. They'll get the X marks. The silence is there, so Puppey can't hit the combo. OP now moving forward with the Stone Gaze, the Supernova. Secret have to be very careful how they stick around for this. A good boat from Puppey will coat 4 of his team in the rum, so they'll feel pretty strong and maybe want to go back in. Kezu eyeing up the potential for a black hole maybe. Q will be focused by the Assassinate, brought down a little bit. Has to be careful with no Supernova still available. OP's actually out of mana. He's almost certainly going to go down. Kezu comes in with a black hole, grabs Burning as well. Kezu falling low, will kill himself as well. Gets the Bloodstone Suicide. Assassinate from mid-1, finishes off Phoenix as well. And Secret will take the fight there. I mean, the amount of sustain these guys have getting in and out. Puppey with the boat, getting it onto pretty much his entire team, allowing them to man up, and they killed OP, the hero we talked about being one of the hardest to take down on IG's side.
Yeah, it's consistently one of the coolest things about the way that Puppey crafts team fights is he takes them and he puts them in a way that uses aspects of the heroes that we don't normally see. So after that last fight, the Bloodstone looked so good, right? Like, kept everybody alive forever. The boat also helped to keep people alive. And right after he finishes his black hole and has casted all of his spells and all of his utility items, he's like, all right, no kill for you, and I'm going to full heal my team and guarantee that nobody else dies the rest of the fight. And they win a fight, get a 2-3 tower, and they get Roche out of it. And Enigma's alive instantly. Oh, he went the respawn time perk at 20. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. I've literally never grabbed that perk at 20 in my whole life. I always grab the 300 health. But Bloodstone, like, covers those bases, basically. It gives you the raw HP that I always grab the 300 health for, or you're going to get a tree kill. And comboed with the Bloodstone, he's instant respawn. It's
that
like the Lina
respawn,
BS.
isn't it, for quite a while with those charges.
Kezu has literally advanced the Enigma build with this build. I get, like, 100%. This is the new standard. Such a cool build. Like, love it when players innovate like this. And Secret's team fights just look so strong.
And good amount of push as well, of course, with this Enigma's Eye. Lons Kezu and mid-1 will look to take the tier 2 down after this fortification's worn off. So they can try and go for more. Haunt is back available. We're seeing the black hole down for another 30 seconds. Looks like they will play it relatively safe, but they can feel pretty confident having that Aegis and such on MP. It's level 24 at the moment. Looking at see if we're getting close to any of the 25s. I mean, OP on the Medusa. What do you take as 25 on the Medusa? Is it the lifesteal or the Stone Gaze in these sort of situations that's going to be more useful?
This one's a little tough. I think you're going to go Stone Gaze stun 100%. It's hard to say. There's so much magic damage on its team.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
That you almost don't want them to be stunned longer because then they take no magic damage. But 2 seconds of stun, that means if they look at you a little bit too long, they're stunned for 5 seconds. And then they take 50% bonus physical. The problem, though, is that they just don't have a physical carry that really profits from that. It's basically just Medusa. So
Burning, just with his build, he's not got the damage. I mean, soon, well, I say soon, he's quite far away from the Assault Cuirass.
I mean, AC will help a lot, and he's going to get plus 65 damage at 20. So Burning is close to doing reasonably good DPS, and Medusa consistently, she could do that as well. Maybe she picks up a Rapier at some point, and then it's going to be super value.
Yeah, Rapier with the plus 2 seconds would be the dream.
I think that's the build, though. I don't think lifesteal is really what's going to make Medusa that much stronger. I think you just say, we got to get better at team fighting it. We got to fight the team fight better than Secret does.
I assume this is just an accidental queue-up because both OP and Burning have a Medusa, an AC queued up. They're not going to both buy Assault Cuirass, are they?
Probably not, but we'll see what happens.
Surely it's not good to get it on both of your cores.
Most likely, no. That's definitely.
I think. Yeah, he's picked up a Demon Edge. Okay, there we go. So he's going to go for the MKB on the Medusa. That makes much more sense.
Yeah, that protects him against a potential Butterfly pickup for Spectre, possibly Butterfly for Sniper. You never know. But Sniper going the standard MKB. He needs that for the True Strike against Dusa, and MP going for Heart. So not necessarily needed just yet from OP. I don't think Daedalus is the move. I'm not sure if I like the MKB here for Dusa.
I mean, obviously the Solar Crest from Puppey is a little annoying. He's keeping his cause alive with
All right. Yeah, for that reason, I would justify it then. Good point. So, first 25 perk Spectre. It's the amazing plus 400 health.
I think you
interesting.
Really, I know it's not fun, but I think you normally take that again. I mean, the minus 10 seconds sounds good, but 400 health on your core.
I feel like almost every Spectre I've seen has gone for the Spectral cooldown.
And for sure, and as of course the clever people on the internet will say, well, then why is the 25 talent worse than the 20? I mean, plus 20 strength is...
It's basically the same.
Exactly.
The only difference is that at the 20 talent is actually better.
Yeah,
because they give you HP regen.
That's what people say.
A very small amount. It's like 0.6 HP per second.
But it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid, but that's where we're at, guys. Some
Kind
heroes
of
are
stupid,
just
confirmed by Perks.
it's kind of difficult to balance sometimes. That's life.
What is it about? I mean, Secret, I imagine, with the Spectre being where he is, they feel pretty confident. I mean, is there any sort of urge to try and break the high ground? I mean,
I think they're so safe right now. Like,
yeah.
This is all Secret has to do. Don't take a bad team fight, and they win this game, I think. Because bad team fights is how they throw this lead away. Like, look at Pilot right now. He's like, I'm just jungling. I'm pushing the lane. I'm hitting it. This looks like a low MMR game where players don't know how to pressure the map. That's how safe Pi. Maybe that doesn't mean anything to you guys, but like Pi can do whatever the hell he wants this game. The fact that he has an Orchid on a CM is ridiculous, and that's just as a function of where the game is right now and how vulnerable he feels. Like the IG drafted so much around like winning the team fight against Secret. The only hero they really have that can actually spot for kills is really just Tree, but because they're super behind and they're kind of consistently losing fights, he can't even get on the map to go look for opponents to possibly take engagements. So their lineup didn't quite fit together perfectly because Secret just got real passive. Like IG had to kind of bulldoze a little harder or win the laning stage to actually pressure the map correct, because now they feel like they're in a weird spot.
Well, what do you think about this as well? Look at Baboka. He's not moving towards the Axe at all. He's actually decided to pick up a second pipe for the team so that they can stack them against the damage of Secret.
It can be really good,
yeah.
Because you can use them one after
yeah,
another.
You can still benefit from both of the barriers. Yeah,
so it's potentially like 400 magic damage block. It's really good against Shrapnel, against CM. All these heroes basically do a ton of magic damage. So I think it's okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't have liked to see kind of the movement towards the Aghanims instead of picking up a second?
I mean, it can work, but if your opponents are winning and they have a gem, it's just good luck.
Okay.
They're going to get a Quelling Blade on a hero with a gem, and they're just going to walk around just cutting all the trees down. So, and there's not even that much to farm anyways. Like, hypothetically, it's super good if you control the whole map. You put a little tree on every single neutral camp, and then you start getting like 1,000 GPM as tree every time you ulti. But it's not going to be that kind of game for him. And for that reason, maybe once again we can look at the hand of Midas and be like, hey, maybe he should have just bought Hood right away first into Pipe instead of delaying all of his important stuff. I don't know. Are there even neutrals for him to use this item on? Like, I feel like he can't get out to a neutral camp half the time.
It's hard for him at the moment with the pressure that Secret were putting on. They've now started to back off a little bit. Secret back onto their half of the map. Puppy's picked up a couple of smokes, so we'll see if they do want to try and go for a player, move back onto IG side of the map as a full 5-man under the cover of it, and maybe try and catch IG off guard in this period where IG could feel a little safer coming out and leaving the base. It's still tricky. And
just so difficult for them to be on the map, because if anybody gets spotted, it's going to, and Kunkka's there, he's just going to X marks to spot somebody. Not that Kunkka's ultra mobile this game by any means, but I just feel like it's one of those heroes that makes a huge threat to playing the game normally. It's like playing against Disruptor. If you leave the base, if you get out of position and he catches you, then you have to fight, or you're going to lose somebody. It's tough to be in that spot. Shiva's Guard for Enigma as well is another pickup here. Just making him ultra tanky.
And Burning as well, still not really picking up any sort of those big major items. It's 44 minutes, he's just finished off of Vlad, so I mean, just gearing up for the fact, maybe even preparing that you are going to be having to deal with these inevitable stronger creeps, and just having some sort of lifesteal. It's obviously great for kind of OP and such to help push out the lanes, a bit of extra sustain. He did go for the +2 second stun, so he himself won't have that lifesteal.
Yeah, it's fine. Oh, they're going to hunt for a puck kill. Oh man, did he die fast. Holy crap. Like, hey, somebody crossed the river. Let's kill him, guys. It's
a risky place to go for IG.
I mean, that's what he's got to do. He's got to push lanes out. He's got to make sure that the creeps are far away from the tower, because at this point, IG doesn't feel super confident about winning a fight, so maybe he's over there, maybe his allies TP to the shrine, maybe they gank somebody that's pushing by themselves. That's basically their goal here. In that case, he ended up getting caught. Ends up dying for it, but that's okay. He's just got to ride this out until he gets his 420 GPM perk, and then he's set, right?
And then start shipping out the Moon Shards to his team. Moon Shard and Medusa would be very tasty.
Moon Shard Phoenix?
Moon Shard, absolutely.
You never
Dude,
know.
Moon Shard Trian. That's those punches.
This guy hits hard, right? Still having trouble picking up level 15, though. It's tough for him. This was old Midas. He would have been fine.
Oh, mid lane Pi nearly getting caught out. Well, with the swap from Burning, there will be backup from Secret. Pi gets popped straight away. There's no CM. MP trying to man up. Just have to be a little careful as the mini bashes come through.
It's going to disengage, I think. I think this fight's over.
They're thinking about going back in. They found Baboka on the front lines. Just getting 3-shotted there by MP. Treant's down as well. So they've lost the CM, but find a second kill on top of the puck. XXS will be back in 10 seconds.
And he actually bought out here. He didn't save his buyback. I know he's about to respawn and all, but kind of interesting. I think this is going to go passive again. You know, like, again, the way Pai's playing this game, it just shows utter confidence.
Yeah,
like,
just
he's like,
YOLO
oh, I'm going
down
to
the
push mid, blink dodge your skill. Oh, I got swapped by the Venge. Oh, that's too bad. My team will still take a fight and just
still
kill
get the
you.
advantage.
Yeah, like 2 kills, no problem.
Oh, and I love it. He is, of course, doing that. He did get the blink, but he is looking for the Bloodthorn.
Okay.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Blink, Bloodthorn, Crystal Maiden.
Honestly, you might as well. If you're going to build an Orchid, you should just go all the way. Even though CM's not a right-click hero, it's only an additional, like 3,000
Not
gold?
a right click. It's 60 damage, mate.
You're right. I'm underselling CM's true purpose in life. It's right-click DPS.
Into the Roshan they go. Secret playing it safe and just guaranteeing them the Aegis. And is that the 3rd time this game? No, sorry, it was just the 2nd. Okay. Next time there'll be cheese, and we may very well see it next time if the game continues at this pace. It depends how heavy-handed Secret want to go with this push in now that they have an Aegis again.
So Duso, only new item here is a Monkey King bar. So
has a lot of money in the bank. We're getting close to Rapier potential, which may be necessary if IG want to try and close this game out and get the win.
It's definitely a Rapier game, I think. They really need to amp up their damage. Venge is not scaling. Again, he's got Midas, but that's only going to do so much. And the Vlad's is going to help probably the Medusa the most since he buys so many stat items. It's a little bit more extra damage from the Vlad's damage aura, but they're definitely having damage problems, and magic nukes don't scale as well in the late game compared to physical damage, which is why they're just going to keep dropping off more and more if they don't buy a Rapier.
Yeah, and I know we mentioned it before, but again, because he did take that 2-second stun, as we mentioned, the Rapier with the plus 2-second stone gaze.
That'd be real good. And the minus armor,
good.
if they can finish an AC. Still queued up on the bench. He's
Why
going
is
to
he
go.
queuing up me on it, Burge? Bottom lane, XXS again, trying his best to push these lanes out, but they have caught him. Can he get his way out of it? He'll try his best. No, they've got the vision with the Shiva's Guard.
Yeah.
As mid one peeps in from a mile off. And that's actually no puck for 75 seconds. As you mentioned earlier, didn't have the buyback. Again, still was unable to get that money up for buyback.
Yeah. Just super smart word placement here. They knew what puck's going to do. This is one of the things in pro games you have to be careful. If you set too many of the same patterns, then it's easier for your opponents to predict you. And in that case, he was constantly playing around the off lane there, jumping through trees and stuff. They saw him coming. Makes the kill a whole lot easier. All they got to do is haunt, and Spectre's got the disable, basically. And he goes for an E-Blade, actually, on Spectre. This has got to be a first.
Now that is confidence.
So the purpose of this is amplifying your 200 damage Spectral Dagger, actually. Did you know that?
Well, there we go.
Or
no, the purpose is to make sure you use the Diffusal Blade charges, E-Blade them, then diffuse them.
Okay.
Why not?
For the nuke.
The BM, the taunting.
I think it's for just preventing Medusa from attacking in dangerous moments, most likely. And for fun. I don't know.
It's good stats as well. Good amount of Agi. Great for the illusions from the Manta.
Yeah, something like that. It is actually the best agility item in the game.
Yeah.
Gives the most agility.
Well, it looks like IG will be able to hold long enough for XXS to come back into the game. I am still disappointed that the OP, he is purchasing into the Mionis, so we aren't going to see the Rapier Dream come quite so yet. But still at this pace, yeah, we certainly could still see it eventually.
It's actually so bad this game. Like, he got the Stone Gaze perk, so they're stunned for longer.
But why is he building magic
literally
damage?
Doesn't do damage when they get Stone Gaze. It
where's
actually,
the Rapier OP?
I just don't know if it makes sense. I mean, he's going to reflect a lot of AoE when he uses the active. The active part is going to be pretty good if he gets into a bad situation, but I just don't see it killing his opponents super fast. I'm not sure. He'll kill the Spectre illusions, I guess. I'm just not sold on the Mjolnir.
Look at that. I mean, this ward from Secret, I don't think IG expected that, but Boca certainly didn't. He's been spotted out here, and with the vision rule, they can't, okay, they don't quite have the follow through. Okay, with the Horn, they should get him. MP jumps straight in onto Boca, takes him out. Q goes forward here, forcing mid one to back up. XXS gets the Dream Coil onto 2, now OP with the Stone Gaze. They've got the Supernova up, but the Black Hole's there from Kezu on the low ground. Dragging in Burning, keeping himself alive. The Supernova Stone will save him, can't get his way up to the high ground though. The Frostbite lands, mid one peeps him. Q's forced back to go away, but the Assassinate, is it going to finish him off? It is. Double kill for mid one. The Assassinate from a mile off picks up another. The buybacks are coming through from IG. They have brought MP down relatively low. Do they have the catch? And it doesn't look like they do. They can't afford to jump out of the base.
The Mjolnir's working okay at killing creeps really fast and bouncing to sniper and stuff like that without being in threat range, but they're having trouble just killing MP in the first place. And there's the E-Blade usage.
With the disarm,
prevents the
will
attacking.
Manta it off. MP just goes head in straight away onto
dead
OP with the
instant.
torrent as well. The lockdown's too much. OP's down for 2 minutes. No buyback available, of course. Baboka comes in with the overgrowth. They have the Orchid onto the Supernova. Phoenix, no chance for any sort of ult. And GG
My
is
God.
called. Secret pull through a 2-0 against IG Purge.
And it's not just the fact that they won this game, they just beat the tournament favorites right now. This is a team that just beat OG. They just came out of DAC winning 3-0 in the grand finals. And I wasn't even sure Secret was going to do well in this match. The first 2 matches they played prior to this were teams that maybe weren't expecting to do so well. It was like VTJ, and they beat Onyx, who upset Newbie, despite looking like one of the worst seeds. This is a huge, huge win for Secret. This means they get first seed. They went 3-0 in their matches in the Swiss groups. They're done, and no matter what, they play against one of the 2 teams that go 0-3 today.
Yeah, just great performance all round from Secret. And I think 2 players, well, like MP and Kezu, in the past, these are the players that have been criticized for their play. But in this series, I mean, in this game, the Spectre performance was brilliant from MP. He was pretty much the initiator every time, jumping in, starting the fight, sending up 16-4-15. And Kezu, with the Bloodstone build, very hard to bring down. We saw some crucial kind of suicide heals at some points, and just the pressure. We didn't necessarily see the flashiest black holes, but when they came in, I don't think we saw a single one kind of be cancelled. Every time he used it, it did guarantee a kill.
Yeah, this game looked like absolutely perfect planning from Secret across the whole game. They knew what their game plan was. They knew how their lanes were going to go. They itemized perfectly, and interestingly, I mean, Bloodthorn CM. How can you say no to that?
I think we saw the one use of the Bloodthorn at the very end when he casted it on the Phoenix.
Yeah.
So he did get an active off.
It's very effective. Phoenix doesn't want to have to build silence when their opponents don't have one. You never see the CM Orchid
You didn't have a Yules.
So just amazing performance from Secret there. I really think they did a great job. They absolutely deserve their first seed, and IG looking like they do have some weaknesses, maybe.
Very entertaining series
building Midas.
indeed. Yeah, as you said, the 4 Midas not working out. Maybe OP should have got one as well. And 5 Midas would have done it. But there we have it. Secret take the series 2-0. That's it from me and Purge. Back to you, Red, and the boys on the panel.
Thanks very much, ODPixel and Purge, for the commentary in the second match of the day. It is a victory for Team Secret, their 19th game in a row. The last time they were beaten middle of March by Alliance in the European qualifiers. Fantastic run from Team Secret, and it continues as well. They will claim the top seed. Let's catch up with our 3 members of the panel. It was a very good performance from Team Secret. How much weight do we put on this with the way that IG played?
I think a lot. I mean, IG stuck to their drafts. I don't think IG played poorly. I mean, they've been a top-tier team, one of the favorites for a while with good reason, and I think Secret just showed up. They had great drafts. I think that's really where Secret really shone, is they had unusual drafts that IG hasn't played against, that they didn't really get a chance to prepare against because Secret has kind of been in hiding for the last few months, and this last pick Sniper just completely destroyed IG's lineup.
And on top of that, they finally figured out a good opener versus Baboka, right? With the Monkey King ban, and his Treant was pretty underwhelming, died a lot in lane, but after you target Baboka, the gameplay seems a lot easier.
Yeah, they targeted the bans in this particular game with the Riki and the Monkey King. They split it in the previous game and took the Riki from them as well. Do you feel like that's really identified the heart of how Baboka plays and then how the heart of IG plays?
I think it's more, that's part of it, but the other part is how they try to nullify IG's lane pressure in this game. So they open this game with Crystal Maiden and Enigma, and when you throw this Enigma offlane, there's a lot of heroes that IG can't pick. They don't want to pick Juggernaut, they don't want to pick Lifestealer, they don't want to just put this melee hero there that might have to one-on-one this Enigma. And it also made so that IG can't just rotate their supports out. In this game, we saw they didn't win a single lane, actually. This Enigma was the most farmed hero in the first 15 minutes of the game. And bottom lane, this Crystal Maiden and Kunkka were able to just kill this Puck and Treant over and over again. Meanwhile, Sniper versus Medusa matchup mid, Sniper was having the time of his life.
He was having a lot of fun, wasn't he?
Yeah. And this is not like something that IG is used to playing at all, where they just pretty much lose 3 lanes.
Yeah, and we did make that point, Ben, didn't we, beforehand, is can Secret come up with a composition of heroes that IG are uncomfortable playing, and that seems that they did that.
Definitely, and I also think that they need to address Kezu. Kezu just did whatever he played very well with the holes, and he had a ton of farm to go along with it. Enigma just they kind of had some solutions to it, but at the same time he had so many items that he didn't actually need to get good black holes off to win the team fight.
If he hit a one-man black hole in the core, it's like, well, that's job done, because he had the mech as well as the pipe. That fight at the tier 2 top tower was huge, where they survived through it because they had the Coco's Rum as well as the pipe and the mech. All three of those things, they barely survived, and then as the overgrowth wears off, they actually kill the egg as well. That was the deciding fight. If IG win that fight, I think the game goes very differently. Likely IG go on to win it, but they turned that around, like kill 3-4 big heroes, and Kezu being as farmed as he was one of the big reasons why it went so well.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard. And Gods, you've picked out a few of the team fights in this one. Do you want to talk us through the first?
Yeah, so the first big one was that one in that top lane, where it looked absolutely perfect for IG. They had a 4-man overgrowth, they had the supernova down, but it just wasn't quite timed perfectly with how everything went down. The stone gaze wasn't quite there to protect the egg. It came like a second or two later. And similarly, the overgrowth wore off, and there was still time to actually kill that supernova egg.
Yeah, not quite ready for that one, but that's fine. And the second?
I don't know what the second one is now. Big list of team fights. I'm like, all right, let's see what we've got. Second one, if we get a look at it, doesn't look like we do.
No, not right now.
No.
That's fine.
Technology
We'll fix it in post. It's all good. But generally speaking, Secret very good in the team fights as well.
Draft-wise, play-wise, I think Secret are playing at a very high level right now. We'll have to see whether teams can kind of figure them out for the main event, because they're done now. Their group stage is over.
Yes, and that is the key now, because we've sort of said a few of these things. With Virtus Pro said earlier on, they're not really playing as strongly as they would potentially play because they don't want to give away too much. Have Secret gone the other way? Have they given too much away, perhaps?
I think they've shown maybe some of their drafting tendencies, like the Lycan pick a couple of times, the Enigma, but these are things that people kind of knew, like Kezu Enigma isn't like a new thing or a big surprise. Puppies had a really big array of heroes. I think that's probably what perhaps, like, if you look at something that Secret's done really well and been surprising and like amazing, it's Puppy's hero pool and play has been absolutely top notch. Pie's doing well, so yeah, the whole team's really stepping it up.
I still think they have more because they use Huskar in the qualifiers too, which no one really thought was a good hero or you could win with it. And then PL and Lycan, as you mentioned, there's still so much I think that they have. Like Kunkka in the third pick too. Like that's not something that's a
little bit out there.
MP and Mid One both play like anything. Like those guys are not players. I think like they got to pick like one of a couple of heroes. Like I feel like both those guys can just be put on anything in a given game and do fine.
And EU is on top for now.
Absolutely,
EU is on top for now.
For now, they can come out of hiding.
Team and MVP for this one. Who would you have?
I think MP played quite well, but the whole series, I would have to go with the draft. I think Puppy did an amazing job at like figuring out what are the meta bans and figuring out which heroes that can just fly under the radar and you can just pick them and they're very hard to try and count, or like people don't really respect them enough to counter them, pretty much. Like in the first game, this Abaddon went offlane. It's like they drafted in a way where they can let him just sit there and farm. Same with the Enigma. These two heroes were picked in the first phase, but they got free farm. How is that possible? Has to do with how Secret played, but also how they drafted after those heroes.
Okay, we're going to get more from all three of you in just a moment. Let's catch up with the man who's had an excellent series himself. Maybe not the MVP, but certainly very important as far as Team Secret are concerned. Kezu is with Shiva.
Hello, indeed. Welcome back. Thank you, Paul. We have Kezu here with me this time. Kezu, 3-0. Congratulations. Awesome performance. I have a couple of questions for you. And the first one is about the entire series. So especially Game 1, it looked like you were very well prepared for this series. And I want to know, how did you prepare and prep for this against IG?
We watched a lot of replays lately. And since they're a really good team and they did good at DAC, we looked at a lot of their play styles and what they like to do. And then we looked at some statistics and what we think could be good against them. And then we did that, and now we're here. It worked out.
It definitely worked out, and with some unusual drafts, if I might say. How does the drafting process go for you? Because I see everybody chip in a little bit.
Usually, maybe the day before or the hour before, we have an idea of what we want to do. So perhaps if they pick this hero, we might respond with this one. If someone feels really good about something, then we might switch it up in the middle of the draft. So we usually have like a set idea, and then we go with the flow. Perhaps someone has like a really strong feeling about something, then we go that way. But that's usually how it goes.
Okay, and during the entire games that we've seen so far on the mainstream, most of the bans that we see go to Monkey King supports and roaming supports mostly. Now, yesterday you got banned Enigma against you. Today in the second game you got banned Abaddon against you, and it doesn't really happen. Like other offlaners, maybe Legion Commander, but then it's just Legion Commander is very good right now. How does it make you feel to see heroes specifically targeted to you in terms of bans?
I don't know. It doesn't really make me feel anything. I guess it's good for us because we have a different opening. Like yesterday, we played Darkseer and then some team banned Darkseer. I was more like surprised. It doesn't make me feel like, oh, I'm the shit, I'm so good, they need to ban it. It's more like, oh, well, okay, we get to do something else.
Right, well, you had a very perfect group stage, 3-0, didn't drop a single game. I mean, that must be feeling really good. How did you feel about the meta as it evolved and the teammates you faced?
I'm not quite sure yet. I think there's a few heroes that are gonna like break out in this tournament. Like there's a few heroes that are starting to get picked a lot. I'm not gonna name them, but there's gonna be a few heroes that I think will be called overpowered by the end of the tournament.
Okay.
And the teams we faced, I was kind of scared of IG. I mean, I'm scared of most of the top teams. I respect them a lot. But we just played our game and I'm really happy right now.
I can only imagine. Thank you so much for taking the time. I believe you're done for the day. You made top seed, so congratulations. And Paul, back to you.
Thanks very much, Sheila. Yes, congrats to Kazu. Congrats to Team Secret. They are 3-0. They will meet one of the bottom-seeded teams in the knockout stage of the round of 16, and they'll avoid Virtus Pro until at least the grand final. Well done to both of those two teams, finishing 3-0. Let's just wrap things up on this. Where does it leave IG? They're going to have to play one more round, obviously, to figure out where they're going to be seeded. Do you see that they've somehow dropped off overnight from where they were yesterday, or is this a blip? What is it?
I don't think it's an overnight thing. I think it was actually a patch thing. So when the patch hit, a lot of the heroes that they played have been nerfed. Even Lifestealer, Juggernaut, Monkey King, all these heroes have been nerfed. So they might feel like they can't really just straight up first pick some of these heroes, and that's causing them some problems. I think over the past few days, even in the other tournaments that they played, I didn't feel like they were as strong as they were at DAC. So even though yesterday they didn't lose, today we can clearly see they're having some issues for sure.
Okay, and a question to the other two of you. Are we going to stop calling Team Secret a dark horse now? Are they a legitimate candidate to win the Kiev Major?
I think you can't discount any team as who goes 3-0 in the Swiss format as not at least.
Have they done enough to convince you, though, gods?
With their drafts, absolutely. I think it only gets tougher because now teams have footage to try and prepare against Secret. They have a better every team is going to have a better understanding of how to play right now. So I think you still have to look at like the overall strength of these teams. Like proven teams like OG, EG, IG. These are teams that will always play better in the main event because like they've got that like real experience as a team. They've got that synergy. They've won championship before. So once they figure out the meta more, they're going to get stronger. Whereas maybe Secret seems to have perhaps figured out the meta before them. So given time to adapt, maybe harder, but I think Secret still is very impressive and will continue to be a strong team in the main event.
Have they surprised you, Ben?
Definitely so. I didn't expect too much, even though they were 2-0 yesterday. As we mentioned, it wasn't versus like the tier 1 teams that we consider would be top 3 in the tournament. But I think even though there is 6 games of footage on them, I still think they're going to continue to outdraft in the main event, and that was a big part of their success. At the same time, teams like IG will be able to bounce back. You know, they did lose to OG in the upper bracket and figured them out for the grand finals, and hopefully some other teams will be able to figure out how to stop this unstoppable Secret.
Yeah, and Kesley mentioned it in the interview. There's a few more heroes to come, he says. What are you expecting?
Huskar, Brood, these sort of things, I think
Death
are
Prophet, perhaps,
not.
another one that's been talked about a bit. Furion, maybe.
Seen a little bit of it.
I think Furion is the one that he probably was thinking the most. Like, even though it's been picked a couple times, maybe it hasn't been played to its full OP-ness or whatever you want to call it. So.
All right.
What heroes would you say, Steven? What are the like the secret hidden heroes that you think might come out for teams?
It's hard to say. I think more like some of them have already been played. It's just like it hasn't been emphasized enough, right? But I don't know. Like every time I think about something OP, I'm just thinking Furion, like Nature's Prophet. Like that's it. That hero just seems
at least
ridiculous.
it's
And
not
Spectre,
Pugner.
actually.
Spectres,
we-
okay. Yeah, we're okay
Yeah.
with that. As long as it's not Pugner.
Right.
Then that's okay. That's fine. Let's catch you right up right now with the current standings. Look away now if you don't want any spoilers from any of the games that are currently going on or have completed this morning or yesterday. This is how it currently looks in the Kiev major group stages. The 8 winning teams are over on the left-hand side. You can see the Team Secret and Virtus Pro are 3-0. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see IG Vitality and SG Esports are the teams who have finished 0-3. That means Team Secret or Virtus Pro will play Vitality or SG in the round of 16. That's all we know for now. The draw will be made, of course, before that round of 16 takes place in 2 days from now. In the middle, however, you have that whole middle bunch of teams, 4 on 2 and 1, 4 on 1 and 2. And we will sort all of those out. Some will end up with 3 and 1, some will end up with 2 and 2, and some will end up with 1 and 3. And we'll have a much better idea as to who plays who when they move through to the round of 16. God's surprises in all of that, other than Secret, perhaps?
I think some of the teams missing. There's 4 of the teams who are still playing around on the table right now. Like DC has done it surprisingly well. They once upset Newbie in their opening match. They actually took game 1 against Liquid. Game 2 is just beginning there, so I think DC has been very impressive as the NA qualifier. And I think perhaps OG not quite living up to the expectations there. And they're a team who normally does have good group stages. I think OG's not like an EG where it's like, well, they start out slow, they figure out the meta. OG's normally ahead of things. They're normally pretty consistent, dominant from the start, and they're kind of having a slower start than usual, I'd say.
Yeah. Newbie as well, struggling a little bit. Looked a little bit rocky yesterday, nearly went down to Mouse. Big 25k gold swing in the third game. Brought it back for Newbie to win that one. They've lost 2-0 to EG today as well. Looking a bit rough, Newbie. Normally they're the picture of stability, and we expect them to kind of finish in the top 3, and they're always there or thereabouts, and maybe quite winning, but we expect that consistency. It's not there this time.
They varied from their playstyle. I forgot who was talking about it earlier, but it's like, oh, you need to be able to, I think it was Steven, it's like, you need to be looking at what other teams are doing and be able to utilize that.
Yeah.
And then they strayed a lot from that in DAC. They went Ursa mid, they went Alchemist mid. SCCC never plays those heroes.
Yeah.
And they might have won a couple games with it, but it's just like completely different from what they normally draft and how they play, and it just seems like they're just not as versatile as the other teams in this tournament.
Thunderbird's doing all right.
Yeah,
Seem to be-
I've always liked Thunderbirds.
Yeah. I mean, Misery seems to have a way of pulling his team together through thick or thin. It doesn't really matter what gets thrown at them. They look like they're having a rough day, and suddenly they pull out a surprise win here, and that's partly why they had such a good run at the International.
He's just that sort of captain.
2-1 win today over VGJ, so they're back in that momentum of potentially finishing in the top 4, 5, 6 seeds.
Well, they could have easily been like one of the teams going for the 3-0. When they played against TNC yesterday, they won the first game. The second game was like really close. They were destroying the laning stage, and somewhere went wrong. Okay, you lose. All right, you're in a worse. But it doesn't make them a worser team in any way.
They seem to be able to bounce back, don't they? Whenever they have a rough game.
Right,
like
and
that.
this is just seeding for now. Like, the main event is where the real deal is going to start.
Do you feel like we haven't seen the best of everyone just yet because it is groups?
I can't like everybody takes groups seriously. There's no way like any teams won't take
except
it
Virtus
seriously.
Pro, who are just messing around.
Yeah, but the pressure will heat up once it gets to the main stage.
Yeah.
But I would like to say the team that I'm surprised about the most is actually IG Vitality. This
Doing so
team,
poorly.
right?
Yeah, I mean they're
0-3.
effectively 15th, 16th right now.
And they got top 4 at DAC. So it's kind of weird that this is the position they're in, and now they're gonna have to play against one of the tier 1 seeds, and I don't think they're happy about that either.
Yeah.
Why do we have to play against a team who got top 4 at DAC and their last place in this tournament? I wouldn't feel good at all.
No,
If I was Secret or VP having to play them.
It's going to be tough for them as well as SG Esports as well, who will play one of Virtus Pro or Team Secret. Any final thoughts on this particular round before we... Actually, I think we've got some social media questions. We should probably take one more before we head to a break. So let's check in with our Reddit thread. Do keep adding them. We do enjoy your questions. This one is perks of being a high seed besides facing weaker teams at the main event. So what are the other perks, Ben? What do you feel they are?
Morale, riding a high. Oh yeah, we're on a 19-game winning streak, and they didn't get there doing one thing. That's for Secret and VP. They just made it look easy, and You know, kind of probably trying to make up for their run at the last major, which was quite disappointing. But I think confidence goes a really long way. And as you mentioned, like for Secret, as soon as they lose a game, things start to go downhill. But they haven't lost.
Dota is a very emotional game at any level of play, even more so at the competitive level. And yeah, losing isn't good. It's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
So
I mean, some teams, I guess, may not worry too much about how they performed in the groups and clear their heads and go into the round of 16 very fresh and kind of focus from then on. But you're right. The other side of the coin is there are teams who do get a bit tilted sometimes after a few losses. So do you think maybe the question is more related to how the teams individually cope with that kind of group stage?
possibly. I think it's also a lot. I mean, if you're winning, if you're going into your next match, you don't have to you have to study your opponent. Say all right, how do we play against this opponent? If you're losing, not only you have to worry about your opponent, you have to worry about how do you fix your own problems. You're winning. It's well, theoretically, internally, things are going quite well. So you've just got to analyze your opponent, maybe adjust some tweak some things in your picks. But I think there's a very different mentality for teams who are coming off a winning streak versus a losing streak.
You also get to play one less match, which I think rest is
a little bit more
important.
rest.
Yeah, they get one day off tomorrow, but you also take the rest of today off.
Or it's less footage for the enemy to watch from you.
True.
I like that.
That always actually ends up mattering.
Mm.
And if you're losing and you're in a big match to not be a bottom seed, you're going to maybe pull out some of your big picks perhaps, or do you think that's not really the case because you want to save it for the main event?
Are we talking
if you're getting into you're 0-2 versus another 0-2 and you're trying to avoid that bottom seed, do you pull out some of your niche picks, or do you try to save it for the main event?
I actually don't feel like any teams will just hold a niche pick just for the main event. You don't know whether these niche picks will even work, right? Because they're, like you said, they're niche picks. They're not these meta solid heroes that are going to win you have a high probability of winning you every game. So I think even in the groups, this is when you actually want to try those things and see if it works. For Secret, for example, they do the Abaddon Enigma that other teams don't really prioritize too highly, and they see if it works, and now it works. Maybe they'll have more confidence into using those when it comes to their groups. Yeah, I think Dota has come to a point where you can't just hide your strategies, really. You have to just throw out what you have, see if it works, and then you evolve from there.
I think that's probably true of 15 of the 16 teams. I'm not so sure about Virtus Pro because they're convincing me that they're just messing around right now.
That's just
it's group
Lil.
stage. I don't know if Lil's trolling us
or
whatever. If you're trolling us, Lil, it's working well on me. Thank you very much to our three gents on the panel. As I said earlier on, we are headed to an extended break now because it is the end of the round, so the teams need to be reseeded. And when we come back, we'll figure out who we're going to be watching next in the final part of the day. We'll get two more matches, of course, two more series to come today as well, so don't go too far away. We've got plenty more Dota 2 to spoil you with. One of the other men that's going to spoil you next is Sir Action Slacks. Yesterday, of course, he had the brilliant idea of putting together Kundalini, and today he's decided to do more shenanigans, this time with Team Secret. What could possibly go wrong?
Hello, gentlemen. Another game of our secret card game, Kundalini. Last time that we played here on Team Secret, many things were done, but this time you win something even better. This bunch of rainbow rubber bands and a piece of hay worth approximately $2 million US. Very rare hay. Yes, indeed. Pass out the cards, sir. The time has come for Team Secret to play Kundalini. Are you ready? Please begin. Ask for a player.
No tail?
Does anyone have a no-tail? Oh, that is a no-tail. Slide it over.
Slide it over.
You're allowed to get rid of your worst player. Put him face down. Here's your new card.
Yeah.
No, we have to see it, bro.
Face up, excuse me. Your worst player.
Oh,
shit! Ouch.
Wait, who is that? Well, that's no one, dude.
Oh my
God. He must have a lot of mid players. Everybody keep a lookout for this guy.
All right. Hi, you're up.
All right. Okay, does anyone have a fly?
Does anyone have a fly? Oh, the steal.
Oh.
Ah, he got the fly. No tail combo, but he
That's a
lost.
beautiful picture. All right, drop your worst player there.
I mean,
Jack, that's a good one. That's a good one to drop. Sorry, Jack. We've played many pubs together.
Is it my
You
turn?
made the right choice.
The Jack of
Go ahead,
Jacks.
Kezu.
Has anyone got an S4?
Ah, come on, man. Why are you taking my Gustav, man? Come on.
Let's go. Alright, sorry, Purge.
Oh.
I'll take if anyone has.
Kidding, dude, go.
Just say Purge. I know you want him.
You're choking, dude. Come on.
There's 2 purges. Go ahead.
There is? 2 Purge?
Alright, then we're gonna purge.
No, there's no purges. Only one you win.
What? Punishment. Punishment.
Punishment. Kundalini.
We all get punished, by the way.
Kundalini, this is called the Goog. Get rid of the player with the worst game name. Goog, by the way, is Go OG. It's
Yeah.
a thing that they tried to make happen.
The worst
It
thing.
did not happen.
Oh,
All right,
man.
everyone has to drop a card here. The worst in-game name, face down, please.
Worst in-game name?
The worst game that they have. They could be their tag or just one of their in-game names. Up to you.
Who's this guy?
Huh? That is, Madara. Madara.
Alright, that's
All right.
a terrible name.
Alright.
Oh, Shadow. He's a good name.
That is a
Fuck.
good name.
Face down or not?
No.
Face up.
Always
We have
so
to
we
see
can
it.
Face up, come on.
Oh.
Don't be a pussy,
I'm
man.
interested. You have a lot of good names.
Actually,
All right, yeah, get rid of that's perfect. I like guys.
That's right. That's
Worst
right.
Name. Sorry, Ty. I apologize.
the joke was good.
So, do I get a new card now?
Yeah, you have a new card.
This one.
There you go. All right, you're up, my friend. Don't forget your new card.
Yeah.
Does anyone have Zai?
Zai. Looking
Whoa.
for Zai.
I'm looking for
Whoa,
Zai,
there's a lot
man.
of trades here.
What the fuck?
Here you go. You gotta get rid of a card. Worst card.
Can what is...
Worst card. Ice,
What?
ice, ice.
He's not gonna drop Ice,
you're
Ice,
gonna
Ice,
be
dude.
dropping. All right.
Yeah, Joker.
There you go.
He's a Joker card.
Up you.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Let me think now. We have this, we have that, we have the IG offlaner XSS.
No,
Oh no.
No?
Kundalini, boys.
I hope you guys know how he looks like.
All right, this one is called 3 Days to Roster Lock. Oh my god. If you have Misery or Weehaw, please discard them.
Are you serious? I have both!
Ah, no. Well,
Yeah.
welcome to Team Secret.
Moonmeander.
Moonian. Does anyone have a moon?
Oh.
No.
what's wrong with
you
you
guys?
guys?
Know each other.
Stop
You have
trading.
this
You know, again,
Psychic bond.
showing all those, wings
Alright.
and stuff.
We're quickly running out of cards. The game is almost coming to an end.
Well, I got a decent team here.
Sorry. You could just throw and hope for a good Kundalini.
Anyone have a miracle?
Miracle. Does anyone have a miracle?
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, he got. That's why he asked for no tail. He got
And then I get to
fly.
throw a card?
You have to throw a card away. No?
Who's
Another mouse sports man.
the Spartan?
This Spartan.
Alright. Anyone have an ice ice? There's more than one, I know that.
There's 2.
Yeah.
Wait,
There are 2 ice ice.
Because he's a fucking joker.
Oh, the Jack. There you go. Gotta get rid of somebody.
See you later.
Wow.
Oh.
Who are you throwing?
I don't know, some Athena player.
We'll just move on from that.
We've never met him. You know?
Cyborg man. Here we go.
I think it's fucked.
Does anyone have a universe card?
No, I don't.
No.
All right, Kundalini boys. This one is called Sunspan. All right, Matt, you are allowed to swap your hand with anyone else on the table.
Wow.
Someone that you think is winning.
Imagine I was winning and I didn't want to swap my hand.
That's okay. You can Sunspan yourself. It's happened before. That's what happened with Thunderburst. Go ahead.
Alright, I will sunfriends myself.
All right, Sunspan yourself. There you go. You've switched to your own hand. Congratulations.
Does anyone have
Schmitty.
Sumail?
Sumail.
Do not.
Oh. There you go. Gotta get rid of your worst.
on, son.
Get rid of my worst, huh?
Worst person. That's me. Okay. Well,
Oh, nice
I don't
picture.
blame you for that. Well done. All right, Puppy.
All right. What do
Okay.
we got here? What do we got here? You need to tell me who this guy
I'm
is.
not gonna tell you what it is. You
I mean,
should know.
he looks like an offlaner. That's for sure. You know what I mean?
Just
Oh,
get rid of it.
What do you talk? I can't get rid of it. I
right,
need to
all
know. I need to know.
All right.
Maybe I got the player who
You
I
can
wanted.
clearly get rid of
I need a VGJ freeze.
Freeze.
We got
Anybody?
freeze.
Like a Kundalini to
That's
me.
Kundalini, boys. Kundalini, the Arteezy special. Any player who has a member of the current EG, please raise your hand.
What?
Anyone who has an EG player, raise your hand.
I guess kind of.
Okay.
Drop it.
And you get to swap 2 people from anyone that you want.
You want my card?
You have to give up an EG and +1 to him.
Oh,
And
plus
he
one.
gets-
EG and +1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, you said EG, right?
Anyone
There is no
EG.
secret EGM card in here or something.
No, no. Safe.
All right. So I give you 2 cards.
Yep.
Yeah, you give it
Face
to
up. Yeah, sure.
Give you an MP and a nice picture. You can enjoy.
Oh, what the?
Oh, you got ripped.
To be honest,
got
this be a TI winner, yo.
All right, you gotta put 2. Give 2 to him
Oh,
that you don't want.
have fun.
Get a Merlini.
Oh.
That's a sad
All right,
story.
what did I get here?
Actually, this goes well in my collection.
You gotta get one more away.
You got some
Man.
bathtub pictures there?
4th position,
I was working on something, but
everywhere.
it took
God
me a
damn
while.
it. This is hard.
A lot of support.
I'm giving you a shadow.
All right, well done, well done. All right,
What did I
Sir?
do with this, man?
you guys are taking the longest I've ever seen before. This is great. After you. Kaka. Any kakas?
No.
That's Kundalini,
No.
gentlemen. This is called the Shanghai Major. You miss your next turn, and if anyone has Ramses, you have to discard him as he comes for his keyboard.
Sure.
Sorry. Ramses
Lost
gets
Ramses.
hit again. Sorry.
I mean, did anyone have a mid one?
Mid one.
No.
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 That's Kundalini. All right.
Kundalini.
This is called Chinese roster lock. If you have a Chinese player, put it face up on the table. Go ahead.
I mean,
Oh,
Wait.
just one. You only have to choose one. Chinese roster
Take the
lock.
got back.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I've never done
Everybody,
that too.
that's
I
all the
don't know.
Chinese players?
Who is that?
Hey, can you tell me who that is, at least?
No.
Why?
You'll never know.
Come
All right,
on.
here you go.
He's not telling
What happened?
Just like a normal Chinese
All right.
roster lock,
You
I
got
have
one.
these Chinese players, and pick whatever one you want. It doesn't matter. They just go to.
woo! Let's go!
There you go. Done. Well done. All right.
I can think of your mysterious player.
Anyone got a jabs? Faceless mid player?
Jabs.
No. Probably not.
Another Kundalini. Maybe, probably not.
What's that?
All right, this is visa issues. If you have any Chinese players in your hand, you have to discard them. One Chinese player.
Seriously, I just fucking.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
It was
Life
like
is harsh.
Shadow again.
Well, it's nice knowing.
Shadow's gone.
There you go. Okay, only 2 cards
Oh my
left.
god.
Oh my god, I'm gonna
Oh
fucking.
my god.
Woo. All right, Cyborg Man.
Alright, does anyone have crit?
Crit.
Oh
Looking for a
my
crit.
god.
Dude, you're showing me your
Oh,
cards.
I
I
I mean,
was-
he just showed me his whole hand too.
There you go. You gotta get rid of
Sit
the baddie.
further. Sit further.
Bob, a very good last ditch escape there.
What's that?
Very good last
All right,
minute throw.
that is
Oh,
Bob.
it's a random security guard.
Anyone has
All right, does
puppy?
anyone have a puppy? Oh!
Fuck you, man.
Puppy steal, there you go. The last one, Capitalist. What a great last round ditch.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, cards on the table. You have to explain to the table who your teammates are and why they make the best team. Puppy, you're up first. Talk to me about your team. Why are they the
Wow.
best?
I mean, I was trying to get an offlaner. I'm not sure if the IG player was an offlaner. I'm not sure you either know either. So, so basically, what I got here is a little bit too much support.
Yeah, that's a lot of
So
support.
a little bit.
Sell it though.
So like, they're all gonna make these guys play really good. This guy's mid. This guy's carry. This guy's 4th position. This guy's 5th support, and this guy's my offlane. This is a really good team right here.
Mid one, talk to me. Why is your team the best? Oh shit, you actually have a pretty good team.
You have 5 players, dude.
I have Black as my carry, I have Samir as mid, Zai as an offlane.
Yeah, that's a good choice. It's a good choice.
I think Zai can play a good offlane, and GS has a support 4th position, and Puppy will be the 5th.
Oh,
That's
solid. That is a solid stack.
deck.
all right.
I'm
Let's.
sorry.
I'm sorry, this
Matt, what
could
do
be
we
the
got
best.
Yeah, we're working with a bit of a mixture here.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure on paper this might work.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we got RTZ, Resolution, Mind Control, Jarex, and
There's
Crit.
no go work.
I mean, that's
We're
pretty 16 together.
That's all right. That's not bad, right?
2 liquid players there.
You know?
All right, Kezu, sell us. What do you got?
Alright guys, I got the Gustav offlane, Paparazzi mid, Itas Ice carry, and then I have 2 more core players, but they'll play support. I'm sure Anna plays a great support alchemist, and I've seen Matu Dazzle in pubs.
Okay. That's a hard sell,
guys
but we'll
lost.
see. It's all good. Fine. What do we got here?
Yeah, I don't know.
We got Merlin in the bathtub. So already I'm pretty sure we're out. And then apparently I got 3 support players, and so I guess if you like Miracle, he might carry it all. That's how it is. So, there we go.
That's the worst sales pitch I've heard. All right, great.
Vote for me.
Last but not least, what do we got here? This ain't bad.
I wasn't paying attention to the rules. So
Okay.
I threw one of my best players, no one first.
Okay.
Not my best player.
Sure.
But anyways, I have 2 supports, offlaner, former mid player, and V-God.
Okay, B-God is pretty good. All right, gentlemen, the time has come. You cannot vote for yourselves. You must point to somebody else. A raise of the finger on the count of 3. You must point to who you think has the best deck. Take a look. 1, 2, 3, point! Go!
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh, I'm a little. Does anyone see a double? I think.
I mean, that's
I see a fucking.
I see a triple
A
here.
triple! Alright,
Four people.
What did you even have? I didn't
You've
see.
done it. There we go.
He stole
The
my
perfect
deck,
step.
basically.
I'm the best.
Well done. Congratulations.
You guys suck, man.
You have one.
Look at your deck and mine.
It's at least second best because I can't point at myself.
Won the rubber
Yeah.
bands in the hand.
All right.
Yes.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Another game of Kundalini completes, and the fates of Dota players are changed forever. Thanks. Ah! God! What the hell? Thanks for watching.